Okay, now I recorded the build on this separately as a time lapse, and you can watch that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put them together or not because of the frame rates, but you notice I stopped at the hands, and that is because it's easier to build the hands separately. It's fairly difficult to try to build hands and get them to look exactly like the model, but they're very easy to build separately. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to export this. Let's see, the first thing I'm going to do, and this is a mistake everybody makes, I make it all the time. When you're in Wings 3D, if you're using a virtual mirror, you want to go and you want to stop, you want to freeze the virtual mirror. So now we got a full model. And then I'm also going to tessellate, quadrangulate, just in case I ended up with an end gun. Okay, if I wanted to take it into Sculptress, which I might, just because of the relaxed mesh function, I want to be able to import it there. But then after that, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to export the wavefront. Oh, let's see. I'm going to export selected. That's right, export selected, the wavefront object. And then I'm going to go into Blender and I'm going to shrink wrap this. Okay, so here I am in Blender, and you notice I forgot to change the default material. So now this character's material has that transparency. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that. Should, but I'm not going to. Actually, I'm just going to turn it off. Okay. And because I'm having to record this on a small screen, it's kind of hard to see. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a modifier. Oh, wait a second. I may have to. Yeah, that imported as 3. So let's hide this one. And we're going to select and I got to join these. So they're one. Let's open that a little farther so we can see what we're talking about. Mesh 2, okay. And then we'll turn this one back on. Select it. We're going to add shrink wrap modifier. Target mesh 2. And let's get in real close. Go to shed solid so we can see what we're doing here. You can see from the most part, let's add that to edit mode, and then let's tab into edit mode, and let's get a X-ray so we can see what we're doing here. For the most part, this turned out to be some pretty good geometry. Okay, we're really close on what we wanted to project. How'd our mouse turn out? Sometimes the mouse can be difficult. And all you can really do there is what I'll do. You can try and edit it in here because with the modifier on, it'll be painful. What I suggest you do is just take it back into Wings and fix it, or you can use that relaxed mesh function in Sculptress. In fact, I'm not even going to do any editing in here. Come back out of edit mode and call that good. So we'll go back to our modifier and apply it. And then I'm going to delete the mesh 2. So we just have this one. I could, and you notice that actually turned out to be fairly good geometry. It's still very, very low poly. If I select this, you see I've only got 1100 vertices, which means I could subdivide it once and still probably be well within my 6000 limit, which would be what I'm going to animate from. In fact, I can go in there and let's do that. Let's subdivide it. Let's see what happens here. Subdivision surface, and we just go 1 in the view. Let's add that to our edit so we can see our cage. Yeah, you see that still, oh, it's not showing me it. But I mean, that's a very nice smooth surface, and we can animate that. Now, of course, you're going to want to UV map this, and that's why I leave it the way it is, as is right here. And I'm going to export it and go back to Wings 3D with it and fix it up just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm back in Wings 3D. And as you can see, we look a lot closer to what we were trying to project. And I'll show you how to fix a few of the problems here. We'll just go in here. And let me edit this material. I want this to be more transparent than the other one, so we can see through a little bit better. Get those eyes positioned about where we want them. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do is we took off our X mirror, so now I'm not getting it both on the same side, but what I can do is fix that real quick. Just hit Z, so we're in orthographic mode, and we'll select this half. And I better zoom up real close. One thing I don't like about Blender and that shrink wrap modifier is that it does not do any kind of symmetry. Notice how our center line's waving back and forth here. So what I'm going to have to do I'm going to dissolve that. And then before I go to my mirror mode, I'm going to flatten X. Hopefully that's going to fix any problems I have. And then you notice this time I'm hitting keyboard shortcuts, and a lot of these I've set up for myself. You can set up your own keyboard shortcuts in Wings 3D, and it's not too hard. So let's get back to where we were at. Let's see. We want to, let's see, Let's shift this guy, shift. Okay, normal. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can. Let's kind of reposition that. Really start bringing that out a little bit. Let's see, I think we had a mess going on with these ears, yeah. But anyway, you can see once you projected your model, you might have to do a little tweaking to get it quite back to shape. But you can retopple like this and get a fairly good close representation of what you want. With a fairly low poly model. You can see I can turn off wireframe. I can get rid of these two for a second. You can see it's fairly good geometry.